But I want to welcome everybody to my channel, The Candy Shop. I am so excited. The Candy Shop. So this is my story time, The Candy Shop.
And welcome to The Candy Shop. I'm Candace. Make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. So this story is titled, Her Man Hit on Me While at the Swingers Club. So where do I begin? I'm gonna just jump right into it because the story is crazy. So about, I would say 12, 13 years ago, this was way before I was married, period, to either husband. I was set up on a date with a friend of mine. We will call her Shayla. So my friend Shayla set me up on a date with her man's friend. And so this date, coming right into it, it was good. We ended up deciding to go to a sushi restaurant. And I was all for the particular sushi restaurant we went to in Dallas. It was really nice. They had a good happy hour and really good sushi. So I get there, everything is going well with James, and we just having a good time. And then all of a sudden, his other friend shows up. His other friend, David. So David shows up, and already I'm confused, like, what? Why is David here?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Mind you, let me give you a little history of David. So a few weeks prior, I had gone out with my friend Shayla and her man and David his girlfriend. I didn't have a date. They invited James. James came, but this was like a little informal meetup. We just went to a place called Village Burger Barn. Shout out to them. I don't even know if they're open. It was good, but we enjoyed some drinks there. And the whole time David was flirting with me in front of his girlfriend. So I already thought he was shady. I thought it was funny. But anyways, fast forward, David shows up on my date with James at the sushi place. So I'm like, what's going on? I call my friend Shayla. I'm like, hey, can you come up here? I don't know why David is up here, because I'm supposed to be on a date with James. So I go to the restroom and I come out. David is in the hallway. David is fine, but I know he has a girlfriend. But he stops me in the hallway. Now this is while I'm on the date with James. He stops me in the hallway and he grabs my arm and he kisses me. And I'm not gonna lie, I kissed back. I was in my younger days. The kiss was great. And time paused.
Listen, stop. I'm gonna fuck you.
And then I came back and I came back to myself, and I was like, what the hell is going on? So I just walk off because I'm kind of caught off guard. It was crazy. I go back with James. We hit it off. Everything is going good. Shayla ends up not coming because she says she's talked to her man. He doesn't want her there. So we basically, with James, I tell him, hey, let's go somewhere else, somewhere where David is not. And so James is like, cool, we can go. Do you want to go to a club? And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we drive my car to my place, and this is the second time I've gotten into a car with, I kind of knew him and he was friends with my friend's man, so I didn't think nothing of it. So we get to the club, and it's $20 per person to get in. We get into the club. It looks cool. It's an upstairs and a downstairs. There's lounge seats. There's a dance floor over to like my right. So I decide to sit down. So while I'm there, I run into an old coworker of mine, and he's like, oh, what are you doing here? It's good to see you. I'm like, oh, I'm on a date or whatever. This is where my date took me. So this is cool. This is while James is getting us drinks. So we just vibing or whatever. But then my friend's man walks in, and I'm thinking, okay, what is he doing here? Am I being punked? Like, what's going on here? So he walks in, and we will call him Bobby. So Bobby walks in and he's speaking to James and everything is all good. And so we're enjoying our drinks, whatever. James goes off again somewhere with Bobby. And then my old coworker comes over and drops his pants in front of my face trying to dance. I'm like, what's going on?
I need Obama number right now. I know he's not a president, but I know he knows something. I need to know when am I gonna leave this misery?
Why are your pants? What are you doing? I'm on a date. So he pulls his pants up. He saw I was like looking like, what the hell is going on? At this point of the date, I had probably about 3 or 4 shots. We were taking shots of Patron at the sushi place. So by the time we get to the club, I'm a little tipsy. So James comes back and he's like, when Bobby wants to talk to, whatever. So I go and I talk with Bobby. He pulls me to the side. We sit down on the couch and he's like, you shouldn't be here. I'm like, why? Why shouldn't I be here? So as he's telling me this, he's taking my hand and sliding it on his thing. And sorry, I jumped when I thought about it just now.
Oh my God, what is that?
But he's sliding it on his thing, and I snatched my hand away like, what are you doing? You're my friend's man. She really likes you. And he was like, well, you shouldn't be here. And I was like, well, why are you trying to get me to touch your thing? And then he was like, well, I won't say anything to her. And I said, no. I said, I'm not going to say anything to her because I want her to see the snake that you are. And so I was blown by it. He was very flirty with me. At that point, I go to James, and excuse me, y'all, my battery is dying now. James is like asking me, what's up? What's the problem? Whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. Bobby is being very weird. At this point, I don't know where Bobby is. Probably 20 minutes later, when I'm asking James, can we leave? Bobby comes out of nowhere with some chick, and she was like, we were upstairs. He didn't do anything. He just watched. I'm like, just watched what? What are you talking about? So I turned to James. I'm like, can we just leave, please? Already, I'm feeling like a low-key a little bit of shame because he tried me. Secondly, it's my friends. One of my close friends is men, and he's tried to do this in a club. Like the very next week, he's supposed to go out of town with my friend to meet her parents. So already I'm feeling away. So James takes me home. I am debating now, do I tell my friend or not? I've always been the type of person like, I'm not going to tell what's going on because I don't know if you're going to believe me or not. So I talked to my mom, and my mom tells me that I need to tell her because they could get married and then this will happen. So I think it goes 24 hours. Shayla, me and her work together at the same place. So I see her at work. I was avoiding her at work. She comes to my office and she's like, hey, what's going on? Why, I haven't heard from you all night. What's the deal? So I tell her everything that happened, including the part where Bobby tried to talk to me. Bobby tried to put my hand on his thing and all of that. And she was upset. So she tells me to come to her office. We get to her office and she calls Bobby and she asks him about what happened that night. So he tells her everything. Our stories align up until the point where he tries to talk to me. So he tells her I'm lying. I'm a hoe. I kissed his friend. I've been all over him and don't believe me. So at this point, she doesn't know who to believe, even though I'm her friend. I'm her longtime friend. And in my mind, I'm thinking, chick, like for real, I don't have a reason to lie to you. I don't even want your goddamn man. I'm supposed to be on a date with his friend, but yet you are believing him. So that kind of pissed me off. So I'm mad. I go back to my office, talk to a guy friend of mine at the office. First of all, the first thing he tells me about the club we were at, he was like, that was a swingers club. And I'm like, what? So that was why in the night, all like the guy dropping his pants, the girl talking about he didn't do nothing, her man trying to get me to touch his thing. That's why all that was happening. And I couldn't even, my silly self that was tipsy, didn't even realize it was a swingers club. So then he proceeds to say they were going to set you up. They were going to try to run a train on you. And I'm like, wow, that's effed up. So to make a long story short, me and this friend have never been the same. I ended up being in her wedding though. She married the guy. She forgave him. I think deep down she's always thought that something did happen, but she loved him too much and she stayed. And this is the reason why if I ever see somebody cheating or anything like that happens, I won't say anything. I want them to see it for themselves, because it's like people are going to do what they want to do. So that was a lesson learned for me. Also, I no longer wanted to be set up with anybody's friend or anything like that. And yeah, so I hope you like this story. I know it was quick and short. If I would have wrote it down, it would have been longer. There were more details to it, but I shortened this story. But please make sure you support my channel. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Again, I am Candace, and this is The Candy Shop. Bye.